Hey everybody, Craig with SingleLaneSchool.com here, and we are bringing you the second part of our driver tip. So last week we talked a little bit about what you need, what you're looking for in your driver, kind of making sure that the driver fits your game. So this week we're going to try and wrap up the driver, and I'm going to show you setup and how to go ahead, make that swing, get a little bit more distance, control the ball a little bit better, and start hitting the fairways more consistently. So when it comes to setup, and I'm actually going to put a ball up here. When it comes to setting up for your driver, to make sure that you're hitting it right. So you hear a lot of people all over the place talking about hitting up on the ball with your driver. Why do you want to hit up on your ball? Well, first of all, the driver carries a very low loft. So if you're not hitting up on it, if you're trying to hit down on it, it's one of the most difficult ways to get the ball up in the air with your drivers, to hit down on it. So you'd rather hit up and actually get it coming up that club face and launching up into the air. So in terms of setup, what you're wanting to do with your setup, first of all, you want to get that ball kind of right inside your front foot. And there's certain times, depending on how my game's going, where I'm actually even kind of in the middle of my front foot, somewhere between the middle of your front foot, kind of right off your big toe, and maybe a ball or two behind that front foot is where you want to set up. Now, another thing that I do, and I'm not saying you have to, but I like to make sure to get the most out of the drive that I'm coming out fully extended. So I tend to set up, and you may see Bryson DeChambeau do this, my arms are fully extended even before I hit the shot. So what that is doing, and this is one of the things that I want you guys to focus on when you're trying to correct your driver, is when I do this, it actually puts my shoulders, instead of parallel, actually helps me tilt and push back. So my back shoulder is actually tilted down and pushed back. Why is that important? Well, when you push back on that shoulder and kind of lean back with it, it's going to help you get that ball up, but at the same time, it's also going to take out of play the really, really bad slice where it goes out and it's a 90-degree slice. So this is going to help straighten that ball out when you've got this back shoulder down and back. So one of the things I like to do before I get up to the tee is I set up and I make sure that shoulder's down. I kind of wiggle a little bit, make sure that shoulder's down and back. Almost like I'm trying to point my back shoulder at a 45-degree angle behind me. Now, that's impossible, but that's gonna help me to keep from coming over the top and creating that nasty slice. It's actually gonna help me work on coming from inside to out and eliminate that slice. So another thing a lot of people do with the driver is they try to kill it. Don't try to kill the driver. There's enough technology in this club that you don't need to kill it. If you make solid contact in the center of the face, 9 times out of 10, it's going to go further when you make center face contact than if you try to crush it and catch it a little off center. If you hit it in the center, it's going to go further. So again, with my setup, I'm here, I get those knees bent, I turn that shoulder back, and then I can go ahead and produce my swing. Now, one of the other things I try and tell a lot of people is don't feel like you have to come back really fast or really far to get the distance. If you guys have ever watched, and it's funny because you'll hear the commentators kind of make fun of it, but Hideki Matsuyama, he's got a really unique swing. He comes back, he gets up here, and he pauses for a second, and then all the force is coming from his legs up. All his speed's coming from the legs up. So he's the whole way up here, and he's paused. Well, that's actually not a bad idea for you to do, because that will eliminate any chance you have of making a quick turn and getting those wrists out of sync. So anything you can do to get up here and get yourself in a position where you're going to be able to get to consistently to strike that ball is what you want to do. So guys, as I said, those are a couple quick tips that are going to help straighten out your driver and help you hit it further. So if I go ahead and hit one here, my arms are extended, which is my own personal thing. You don't have to be. I know some guys like to be down here. That's fine. That's up to you. Oh, and just like that. Sorry, it's a little bit early, but that's the kind of thing you want to do. Make sure that shoulder's back. Make sure it's down. That's going to help you pull it to the length. This is Craig with SingleLengthSchool.com. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you next week.